Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first ever BruWins podcast. It is a women's sports podcast focusing on UCLA women's basketball, gymnastics, and softball. We will cover other sports as things happen in the women's space and even sometimes men's if it's big. Um, yeah, so we're really excited. This is our first ever episode. We hope everybody enjoys. My name is Steve Leap. A lot of people know me as Stevie on the internet, but yeah, Kyle, do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Sure, I'm Kyle Mead. I run a UCLA gymnastics Twitter page primarily, and I'm a huge fan of the women's basketball team.
Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit, Kyle, about what made us want to do this? It's a little obvious, but can talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think there's been a growing amount of UCLA women's sports fans on the internet over the last year or so, but there's not really a space for them to talk about it together, and we really wanted to create that for them.
Yeah, and even just we talk about these sports way too much and no one else gets to hear it. So
Absolutely.
now everyone else gets to hear it. So you're welcome. Okay. So you want to go to the next slide?
Cool.
Okay. So like we said in the intro, mainly it's going to be these three sports. So we'll start on the left, gymnastics, which last year they were the national runner-up. Great season.
Huge win for them.
hmm They probably overachieved a little bit. Would you say so?
Absolutely. I mean, going into the season, I knew that they could do it if they pushed hard enough. But to see them really come through and have that storybook ending for them after all that team had been through was really special.
Yeah. I think when they eliminated LSU, that felt like the big win of the season. But then when they came in second, it was like, oh, this is it was actually a really, really good season for them. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Let's talk about basketball next because that's what we're mainly going to be focusing on this episode. And skip right to softball.
Sure.
So that's if you don't know me, that is the sport. Kyle is more of our gymnastics girl. And then I guess I'm more of the softball girl, and we both really love basketball. So we're kind of like equal there. But softball finished fifth, and I would say softball actually fell a little bit short of expectations. They were really supposed to have one of the strongest pitching staffs in the country, and it never really came together. And then, but it was still a fun year. Really cool comebacks all year long. Obviously, the huge walk-off home run from Woolery to get to the World Series. That was awesome. Megan, the picture on the screen, which is of Megan Grant hitting that game-tying home run in the Women's College World Series. I think one thing that we're going to try to do on this podcast is like more focus on positive things. We'll talk about negative stuff too, but try to be a little bit more positive about the teams. So softball was a really fun year, but they came in fifth and finished at the World Series, which
They're a
is
super fun team to watch. I've really enjoyed the last two seasons getting to watch them a little bit. And even though it's not my primary sport, I still really enjoy it. And they really have some magical moments.
they do. Kyle's been to more UCLA softball games than I have. So,
I did. I went to the first round of the regional 2 years ago.
mhm. Okay. So, should we move on to women's basketball?
Sure.
Head to the next slide.
Huge
Oh,
season for the Bruins.
yeah. You want to talk about last season a little bit?
I mean, just lived up to the hype, absolutely. They built a roster that had very few holes in it, if any. And at the end of the year, they made the program's first Final Four in the modern era, which is huge. The one moment that stands out to me about last season is absolutely that huge home win over South Carolina. I remember being in the building for that, and the energy was just electric. I've never felt anything like it.
It was, and that was early in the year. And right
Yeah.
when they beat So I remember watching, you were there. I was watching on
Hmm.
TV and just being in shock about how good they were playing the whole time. So after that South Carolina game, it felt like we not only could make the Final Four, but win the national championship.
And that's what I thought the whole year. I really thought they were going to be able to do it. And then that UConn game was just so heart-wrenching.
It was very disappointing ending, but it didn't take away from their first Final Four. Thank you.
No,
Um, Getting some revenge on the LSU Tigers. That was a lot of
absolutely.
fun.
That was huge.
Um, they won the Big Ten tournament championship after losing to USC twice, so that was
Yep.
good to see. Um, yeah, it was a really fun year for women's basketball. A lot of firsts. Um, the first year in the Big Ten, I would say, was pretty
Hmm.
successful. Would you say the same?
I mean, 3 losses all year. UConn's the only team we didn't beat. We're going to get them this year.
Gonna get them this year. Yeah, but that was last year. This is this year. So, should we take a look at the women's basketball roster that we have coming back?
Sure.
Okay. So, start with the backcourt, the guards, Kiki Rice, Charlize Ledger-Walker, and Gianna Neepkins. Now, we know how Kiki's going to fit in this offense because she's a senior here. She's been here for 4 years. She knows what's going on. How do you think Gianna and CLW are going to fit into this UCLA offense?
I really think that we're finally going to be able to do what we were trying to do last year. And that's moving Kiki over to that shooting guard position where she can attack a little more off ball and be a little more productive at cutting to the rim.
And then what about Gianna?
Gianna is going to play that 3 spot that Gabs has been playing the last couple of years, and Gabs is going to just provide that energy spark off the bench.
Gabriela Jaquez might be what UCLA softball is all. Softball. We're, that's going to happen a lot, by the way. I'm going to
Yeah.
say the wrong sport at least once every time we do this, and that's
And that's
okay.
okay. It's a learning process for all of us.
It is. And you know what? Gabriel Jaquez does play for the softball team, so
She
it's not
does.
even wrong.
Nope.
I think she's the heartbeat of this UCLA team. You
Yeah.
need something good to happen, a big play, someone to fly in for a rebound. It's Gabrielle Jaquez. She's on the next slide, but
I
this one
mean,
we'll keep talking about these girls.
you talk about getting revenge on LSU. She was a huge part of that last year.
Yeah, I think she made four threes in that game.
17 points.
Crazy, crazy numbers.
Big game for her.
Big game for her.
But these three, I think they're going to play together really, really well. I mean, they're going to be able to space the floor pretty well when you see some of those forwards we're going to have out there in a minute.
Mhm.
These three could be really special together.
Now, okay, a little bit of an on-the-spot question. If you had to guess how many points per game, and you can do assists too, because I think all these are going to be are they're guards, so they're going to be passing the ball, hopefully. Um, Points and assists. Do you think each of these three are going to average this year?
Ooh, that's a really good one. Well, last year Kiki was around the 13 mark, and she was a little limited last year because of her injury. And I think we're finally going to see Kiki's big year, and she's going to hit that 15 mark.
Okay. I remember last year, we didn't know that. I think we knew by this point, but when we were talking about it more, we didn't know Kiki was injured last year to start the year.
No, that's so
Um,
true. We thought because there had been, I think the WNBA finals were still happening at the time of that Utah scrimmage. And so we thought Kiki was just like on one of her brand trips or something. And then we found out that she didn't play because she was injured. And we crashed out.
yeah, because we only had the freshmen. It was
Who
the
did a phenomenal job.
he defined yeah in that Louisville game because we it wasn't a cupcake start to the year. We had to play a ranked team
Yep.
in France. It's kind of crazy.
In contrast that
Um,
to this year, we're not leaving the West Coast at all during the non-conference.
No, they played in We Play, which Kiki writes it was not We Play. It was You Do Not Play for her. But I remember saying I think Kiki can average 15, 5, and 5 if if she's at her best. And I think she could do that this year.
I think Kiki could totally average 15, 5, and 5. I less so on the rebounds than
That's the
the assists, but I definitely think she can hit that 5 assist mark.
Now speaking of 5 assists, Ledger Walker, if she's up there in like 7 or 8 per game, it's going to be good news for
Yeah.
UCLA.
I mean, Corey Close a couple weeks ago talking about in her press conference, Charlize Ledger Walker in one of the scrimmages they just had, she 11 assists and two
Mhm.
turnovers.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's really good. And if what the reason that I think we both think everyone's going to be racking this is because one, if you look at UCLA, it's came on were assisting on their baskets. It was like the vast majority too, over 70%. And this year, I think we're a little bit more efficient. We'll talk about the form a little bit. We know it's be mostly because of Lauren because she's super efficient, but it should be more reliable 3-point shooting from Gianna Neepkins.
Yeah, Gianna Neepkins, nearly a 50-40-90 player last year.
One of like two or three in the country, I think.
I I think Paige is the
What's
only other one, maybe.
what good company to be in?
Incredible company
Welcome
to be
back,
in.
Paige Becker, on UCLA Basket.
Both Gatorade Player of the Years from
Um,
Minnesota.
oh, that is true. I didn't even think of that. That they're both from Minnesota as well.
I mean, Gianna
That
has
is,
had such an incredible college career. To do what she's done and be an unranked prospect out of high school is absolutely wild.
it is.
Fun
It
fact,
is.
she
Okay. Should
holds
move.
the Minnesota State tournament record for points in a game. She scored like over 60 points in one of those games.
Hopefully, she can score 60 points for us. When she makes the game, then what? Then what?
Then what?
Okay.
But let's
Okay.
talk a
Should we
little
move
bit
on to the pool?
about how we think these turnovers are going to go because I think we lost most of what was turnover prone to the portal.
A lot of the post-entry passing was from issues, post-entry passing issues, which is where most of UCLA's turnovers came from,
Hmm.
have since moved
Across town.
across town. Perfect instinct. We didn't plan that. So
um,
um,
and I wish her nothing but the best over there. I no hard feelings to her. You know, she wasn't going to be able to get what she wanted here this year, and that's that.
yeah, it's London Jones that we're referencing, by the
Yeah, I
way.
mean, in case anyone doesn't know, but
Um, and like Kyle said, I love London. I think she gave us everything that we needed and asked um, from her. But when it's time to go, it's time to go.
and she
And
saw the writing on the wall. I mean, Gianna told Corey she wanted to be recruited. Corey said she didn't know if she had room. London said, "Well, I'm going to hit the portal before she comes in and takes my minutes." And Gianna is a huge upgrade in that department, in my opinion. I'm sorry, London.
yeah, Gianna's a little bit more consistent. I
Hmm.
like Gianna's height. I know London's a little shorty, but
Hmm.
I like that because let's be honest, when we played other teams, they tried to exploit London and her height
Oh,
on
100%.
defense, and you just won't be able to do that
And
against Gianna.
I would say, what I would say with Gianna is she does struggle a little more on the defensive end. But
That's
I
true.
think her height mitigates some of what London was giving up.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not super worried with Gianna getting beat off the dribble, which is where it
No.
happened, just because you drive into Lauren at your own risk. At
Hmm.
your own risk.
And speaking of, should we move over to those forwards?
Yeah, let's look at the forwards.
All
Who's
right.
gonna be blocking shots? Lauren's not on this slide, but that's okay.
Well, we've got some shot blockers on this slide anyways, though. I mean, right in the center here, you've got Angela Dugalic. She can swat some balls.
An underrated defender all year long.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we couldn't beat USC for those first two games, and then boom, we stick Dugalic on Juju in that third game, and we
Yeah.
win.
Look what player who's guarding Juju Watkins is 7 inches shorter than her. Amazing things. Amazing things. But see, and Angela is another one who can stretch, has that three ball.
hmm
I don't know if we're going to see it as much this year, but it's
Her
still a
three
weapon.
ball's been looking so wonderful in all of those clip scories putting out.
Yeah. I think if Dugalic keeps on the right track, she could potentially get on a WNBA roster, especially with
Oh,
expansion. Do
absolutely.
you
I think
disagree?
all seven of our seniors have a real chance at being drafted,
Mm-hmm. I
but
mean,
we'll save
Dugalic
that
is
talk
six
for
four.
later.
We shall. We shall. Okay. Should we move to end? Okay, let's talk about Gabriela Jaquez. Is she a guard? Is she a forward? Is she somewhere in between? She's a
She's
three.
she's a
Wait,
true wing in my mind, like right in between.
I agree. So
Like she shoots the three really well when it's falling for her, and she is as hard to defend as anyone. And she puts all of her energy into everything she does while she's on the court. I mean, you're never going to say that Gabs left anything out there.
agree. But we list her as forward. I don't know if she's going to be playing the four at all. She'll play the three a ton and guard threes, and then she could switch on to bigger players just because she's
I
still 6 foot tall
Yeah,
herself.
I would say I think against most of the teams we're going to play, besides, like the Texases and the South Carolinas of the world, Gabs at the four is going to be a pretty fine option. Um,
Agree.
Most of the other teams don't have that elite talent at the four to be able to beat Gabs as a four.
Yeah, speaking of elite talent at the four, uh, what will Sienna Betts' role be
Oh,
with this
Sienna
UCLA
Betts.
Bruins team?
Man, is she special. I am so excited to watch her as a freshman this year. There's so much positive about her. Her energy out there is phenomenal, and her personality is really kind and funny and wonderful. Excited to watch her grow as like a human being for these next 4 years, not just a basketball player.
Yeah, me too. I think her role this year is going to be not as big just because we're such a veteran team. I How many seniors is it? You said seven, right?
There are seven seniors, but I really, if we're gonna win a national championship, I really think Sienna Betts is gonna be a huge part of it.
I agree with that. I think Sienna, um, I think her rebounding and her physicality is going to play a huge role,
hmm
and then just her skill. Like she is such a skilled big.
And
Uh,
let's talk about her rebounding. She set the not just girls, but also like better than the boys. She holds the all-time rebounding record in the state of Colorado for high school rebounding.
and I don't know, another really good player from Colorado didn't do that same thing.
Nope.
Maybe her. So it's pretty good.
Her sister, 3 inches taller than her.
Um, yeah, I think Sienna. I think Sienna's going to be an X factor for UCLA from the jump. I don't know if she'll start. We'll talk about what we think the starting lineup is going to be after we finish talking all the players.
Sure.
But mm, outside chance, outside chance.
I I would say if we're gonna win a national championship by the end of the year, Sienna Betts is in the starting lineup.
Would love to see it. Should we switch over to the other bets?
The
The
other
the bigger
bets.
bet. uh, what even can be said about Lauren Betts at this point? Really burst onto the national scene last year. We knew about her
Ugh.
already because UCLA fans. Um, but God, everyone was talking about her last year. Obviously, Juju Watkins won the National Player of the Year, and rightfully so. She's an excellent, excellent player. But the best big in the country, by kind of a large margin, was, no pun intended, large margin. Um, Lauren Betts.
Yeah,
She,
and coming into this year, I would say Lauren Betts is absolutely the front runner for National Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year.
which she did win last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I agree with you. I think her biggest competition is maybe
Sarah Strong.
Sarah Strong. Sarah, maybe even if Dawn wants to give Tania Latson the reins, then maybe
And
it's Tania Latson.
I mean, speaking about UCLA's competition a little bit over there, I huge blow for them with the loss of Chloe Kids.
Absolutely. Really lowers their ceiling a bit.
I
Kind
would
of a
agree.
lot.
They're just really going to need some unproven players to step up in a way they haven't been able to before.
And if anyone's going to find that player, it's going to be Dawn.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
not hitting the panic button on them just yet.
I would say look for a little bit of a different offense over there, likely, and Tana Latson is going to have the keys and the green light.
Agree. Agree. Okay, so we get back to Lauren.
Lauren,
What she was so good last year. Where do we see the improvement this year? Do we think there's anything that she will do better this year? Is there going to be a step back maybe this year just because having had such a good year, almost like a sophomore slump, except really good year, next year slump? You know what I mean?
I had the incredible privilege last weekend of getting to go to UCLA and watching this team practice in Poly. And what I will say is, I think Lauren Betts is better at every single thing she's trying to do out there. She's talking more, she's leading more, she's shooting the ball more, she's driving. I can't think of a single thing that she is not doing out there to be a better version of herself, including catching the ball at the top of the key and taking the three.
She's our next big floor spacer. That's Lauren's biggest strength now. She actually isn't even going to do post moves anymore. She's just a 3-point shooter.
Catch and
That's
shoot straight over the top of everyone. It's going to
green
work
light.
every time.
Yeah, we lost our green light 3-point shooter. We needed another. And Lauren's like, I'll do it. I'll do it.
It's kind of like that video that they released 2 years ago for the Final Four, with like Corey getting ready to go out there.
Mhm. Um, very fun. Yeah, but we're
Lauren's
obviously
gonna have an incredible year
she'll
if
be
this
just
team's gonna
fine.
win, obviously.
And I mean, maybe the most unguardable player one on one in the country. So had it's so easy for her. You know, everything just looks so easy for her as a basketball player. So I don't see her missing a beat this year. I agree with you. I think that she's probably going to win National Player of the Year and National Defensive Player of the Year. But we'll see. We don't want to put too many expectations on Lauren because if you agree with this, but to me, she is not going to be the reason that UCLA wins it all. She's going to be a big part, but not the reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you look at that UConn game last year, she nearly hit the 30-point mark and no one else was able to step up. And so Lauren can be a huge part of it, but someone else has got to come too.
Okay. And I think maybe before we wrap up, who do you think that player is? Let's both give one.
Kiki Rice.
I was going to say Kiki Rice too, but maybe to pick just highlight another player, I'm going to say Gianna Neepkins. Her 50-40. She doesn't need to be 50-40-90, but maybe like 45-35-90, and then or something like that. All
I
right.
could see Sienna Betts stepping up too when we get to that tournament and just going on a Sarah Strong-esque run.
Yeah. She's another one who's been shooting the threes in
Yes, she
practice.
has.
So
Looks great. I think every single person on this team can knock down the three, and that is something special.
it's a scary thing. There are a couple of players that we have not mentioned. We'll mention them at some point, so do not worry. Um, okay,
We
should we
should
go?
mention them briefly, though.
Yeah, you want to go through the ones who we have not mentioned
Yeah.
yet?
Oh, sorry. Wrong slide. So we've got new guard from I think it's Sweden, and that's going to be Christina Karamuzzi. I have to say, in that practice I attended last week, shot the three incredibly well. I don't think I saw her miss a single one.
Hmm.
And then we've got Lena Bilic, uh, pretty undisputed top recruit out of Europe. Scored 43 points in her Eurobasket win this summer. She's a bucket. That's what it is. Shoots the three really well. Needs to use her length a little bit more defensively, but she should be a really strong player for us for the next couple of years or so.
And then Amanda Muse.
Amanda Muse,
Hmm.
junior, redshirted last season. Looks like she's made a huge leap, honestly. Really ready to provide Lauren some solid backup minutes,
Yeah, she'll backup center.
which will be huge. Lauren needs her rest, and to get her down even like 2 or 3 less minutes than she was playing last year, that would really help her, I think.
Agree. Agree. Okay, should we go into the AP poll?
All right.
So just
Oh, and
today,
Megan Grant, of course.
Megan Grant,
How can we
two,
forget?
two-sport athlete.
And Tamia Gardner.
And
Tamia's injured right now.
oh, we did forget Tamia completely. That's
Tamia
sorry.
won't be back until a couple weeks into the season, I think, is what Corey was saying. Could be a little later or a little sooner. I'm not sure. But, I mean, knockdown 3-point shooter. You put her and Gianna out there together, that's a
Oh,
recipe for
that's
disaster for the
scary.
defense.
Uh, and maybe it'll give Sienna a little bit more of time to get acquainted, some more
Yeah.
playing time. So I think that'll be good. So, all right, AP poll was released today, yesterday,
Yeah.
today. UCLA was picked third. Looking at the vote breakdown, we don't have who voted them where, but if I had to guess, I would assume some people did pick UCLA fourth behind Texas, but the majority obviously picked them third. And they're behind UConn and then South Carolina and LSU rounds out the top five. Any thoughts, Kyle, about the AP poll?
Third is where I thought they would be. I think they're probably two in my mind, especially now with the loss of Chloe Kitts for South Carolina. UConn played yesterday. I think they look good. They've got some things to work on for sure, but so do we, and so do all these other teams. This is the top eight I have. It's just a slightly different order, but no major gripes with this.
No. And do you just want to highlight really quickly just how many of these top 10 teams we will be playing?
Yeah, so we're going to play Texas in Vegas. We're going to play Oklahoma on November 10th. We are going to play either South Carolina or Duke on Thanksgiving Day. We're going to play
Both top
Tennessee 3 days later. And not shown here is number 11, North Carolina, who we're going to play right after we play Oklahoma.
10. And then Maryland, a Big Ten team, so we will play
Big
them
Ten
as
team right
well.
there, too. Yep. And I think also in that top 20 or so is going to be USC, Michigan, a couple others. A really strong conference this year.
Really strong. We'll be tested,
Hmm.
for sure. Last year, I think we played the South Carolina game and then didn't really get super tested again until the USC games. So it'll be good to have some consistent tests throughout the year. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, if UCLA makes it out of November unscathed, they're going to be the team to beat.
Okay. But I think that's about all the time. I think we're about to run out of time. About to hit the buzzer beater. Uh,
Buzzer beater.
so I think this was a lot of fun. This went pretty well, Kyle. Do you think this went well?
Yeah, for the first time.
I
I mean,
think
we'll
so.
grow, learn, obviously, but I hope
Yeah.
everyone really enjoyed their first listen to the BruWins podcast.
Yeah, the Bruins podcast. I don't know with the frequency that they're going to be released, maybe weekly, bi-weekly, but we'll figure it out and we'll let you all know. But thank you so much for listening. If you're listening, if you want to comment or subscribe, I don't know where it's going to be released. So
Yeah, I
anyway,
think we're gonna release it on all platforms we can. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and then this visual version I think is going to be on YouTube, but don't quote me
Mhm.
on that.
Don't quote us. Uh,
Don't quote
okay.
us.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
All right. Thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the episode. See you in the next one.